Hello, welcome to Selective Prep for Power Math Reasoning Test 50. Question 1 says I multiply two double-digit numbers of which no two numbers are the same. So, which of the following answers is impossible? So, we're looking for something that is a square number because it says that we don't want something where the two numbers are the same. Or we're looking for something that is maybe a single-digit number and a three-digit number. In other words, looking for prime or square numbers. And just by inspection, so these ones won't be prime because they are divisible by 2 and probably also divisible by 4 and maybe something bigger as well. So I don't think it will be these ones. And just from A, you can have 24 times 10. For B, we can probably also find something because it looks like there's a lot of factors from it. Usually even numbers are a good sign. So we won't look at A to C. D, maybe something to do with like threes and stuff. Or not 3. 2, 2, 1, we can, 2, 2, 1, we can try and split it up. Okay, so 2, 2, 1, just from guessing the numbers, we got 13 times 17. However, for 2, 8, 9, this is actually a factor of 17 and 17. So 17 times 17 will give us 289, 13 times 17 will give us 221. So we can say that seems like we have this square number. We had the square number of 17, which means the answer should have been E. Question 2. Mr. I Like Yellow Cheese is a dairy wholesaler who supplies naturally produced cheese to 24 restaurants, 14 cafes, and 4 delis. And if a phone call is made to place an order, find the approximate probability that a phone call is made from a deli. So we have 24 restaurants, 14 cafes, and 4 delis. We can see what the total is. That will be 42. So the probability that was made from a deli will be 4 out of the 42, and we want to find that out of 100%. So that would be about 9%, I think. Or it should be about 10%. Maybe we can simplify this a little bit. 2 out of 21 times 100, and then 21 Well, that should be roughly, just from inspection, that should be about 10%. From that, let me check. Yeah, about 10%. So it definitely can't be 11% because that would have given us 2 out of 22. And we're looking for something that's between these two numbers. So that should have been not more than 11%, but a little bit more than 10%. So that would have been 8. A. Okay. Question 3. We're trying to find which one is calculated first. We actually want to do anything inside the brackets first. So we've got this bigger bracket here, and then we've got another bracket inside. And because all of these are like division or multiplication, so D and M in BODMAS, then it doesn't matter which one we do first, we just have to do it from left to right. So if we go from left to right, we will get A. Oh, actually, there is something different though. So it's not just division and multiplication, we actually have this 8 squared as well. So 8 squared means it's the O in BODMAS. So in fact, we should probably do this one first and then do left to right from the multiplication to the division. Yeah, I think we should do the 8 squared first. So that would be E instead. 4. Four of the rectangles below used to create the smallest possible square prism. What's the volume of the prism? So if we want to make the smallest one, we want to use this side to make it so that it looks something like this. So 5 and then 5 and a length of 18. If we had 18 times 18 and 5, then that would have been a much bigger volume because we want the smallest one. So if we just do 5 times 18 for the volume, that would be 450 centimeters cubed, which is answer D. Okay, question 5. Before Dirk and Nick start eating, the number of chicken wings was equal to half the number of corn cobs. So Dirk eats 4 corn cobs every 3 chicken wings that Nick eats. Altogether, they start with 90 items of food. However, after eating at the continuous rate, they end up with 55 items of food, where there are now 8 on 3 times the amount of corn cobs compared to the chicken wings. So, how many corn cobs did the boy start with before eating? So this is a little bit of a trick question. We don't really need the last few sentences. I don't think it's very important. The reason is that because it's asking for how many and asking how many did they start with before they were eating. So we already know that they started with 90 items of food. And we notice 90 is either going to be chicken or corn. And we also know that the number of chicken wings was half the number of corn cobs. So if I just guess, say 60 and 30, yeah, chicken is half the number of corn cobs. So the answer should have been E, 60. This question would have been different if I said how many corn cobs did they end with, but instead this one asks us what does it start with, so it's a little bit of a trick question. Okay. Question 6. Chrissy has saved up $67.50 in her piggy bank, which consists of equal numbers of 20, 50, and $2 coins. So she used all her $2 coins to buy herself a new shirt. And how much does she have left? So we have to find out how many of each coin she has, or how many coins does she have in total. We know that we can also kind of group up into, I guess, little packets, because we know that there's equal numbers of each of them. So for example, we know that this whole total would have been $67.50. So I can also kind of group it up like this. And this little packet would have been $2.70. So if I just do $67.50 divided by 270, that'll tell us how many packets there are, or how many coins there are. So $67.50 divided by 270 will give us 25. So she has 25 of these like packets or bundles. In other words, she has 25 20-cent coins, 25 50-cent coins, and 25 $2 coins. So if she used up all her $2 coins, that means 25 times 2 is 50. She spent $50 on this new shirt. Okay, and how much does she have left? It will be $67.50 minus that $50. And that will be just $17.50. $17.50 left. So that's answer D. Question 7 is accidentally a repeat, so we'll just skip it for now. Question 8. One pilot takes 5 hours to finish a flying race across a large ocean, while the second pilot takes 8 hours to finish the race. If both pilots flew together in the race, how long will it take for them to finish the race? So this is also a little bit of a trick question because they are flying together. Okay, so they're flying at the same time. In other words, for them to both finish would just be whoever's the slower one. And that would be the second pilot, who takes 8 hours. So no matter what, we can't really speed him up, right? He's going to take 8 hours regardless. So if we want both of them to finish, we have to wait for that second guy to finish. And that will be just 8 hours, which is answer D. So question 9 is asking for the value of x, y, and z. X and z are a little bit easier because they're both in triangles, and we know that the angle sum of a triangle is equal to 180. And then the angle sum, which we're going to need for y, of a quadrilateral is equal to 360. And why? Because any quadrilateral can be made of two triangles. So for example, a square, we can do it like this, or maybe we can do it the other way as well. Even for a trapezium, we can split it into two triangles, like so. So basically any shape of quadrilateral can be split into two triangles. For this one, for y, perhaps we could do it for, oh, this is actually not a quadrilateral, it's got 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oops. Okay. Let's see then. We have to be a little bit more creative about how we do it if it's a 5-sided shape. Otherwise, you can also just remember that if it has 5 sides, then that would be an angle sum of 540. And the way I remember it is just the number of sides, and then minus 2 times 180 will give us how many degrees it will have. So for here it was 5 minus 2, which is 3 times 180, it's 540. That's one way you can do it as well, just remember this, I guess, fact or formula. Otherwise you can try and be a little bit creative and like, can you go? No, I think maybe it's easier for this question specifically if they just remember this formula instead. Yeah. Otherwise it'll start getting pretty messy. Anyways, so if for x, we can try and find how much it will be. We have 67 plus 74. This is 139. So that means x must be 180 minus that amount. That will be 41 degrees. Then z, these two added up will be 154. So that means z must have been 180 minus 154, which is 26. And then y, we need to find how much these will be when we add it together. So 150 plus 105 plus 130 plus 95 is 480. And then 540 minus 480 will be 60. So if we add all this up, 41 plus 60 plus 26, we will get 127, which is answer A. Okay, question 10. The pattern below is made by using short plastic wires of equal length 5 centimeters. If each diamond has an area of 20 centimeters squared, how many centimeters of the short plastic wires would be needed to make an total area of 60 diamonds? So the first one, it would need 4 1, 2, 3. No, we need 3. For the first one to make, we need 4 wires. And to make the next one, we just need to add 3 more. The next one, we can add 3 more again. The next one, we add 3 more, and so on and so forth. So the pattern is like having 4 and then plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. And we want to make 60 diamonds. So that means that we have 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, and this keeps going on until 59 times. because we have one diamond here, the starter diamond. So that would be 4 plus 3 times 59. And that would be 181 wires. So 181, and now we need to times this by 5 centimeters, and that's how much length we need. So that will be 905 centimeters, which is answer E. Okay, so just some key points. Order operations is BODMAS, and then always calculate from left to right. We also have some angle sum. I'll also add in the one I had before, which was the number of sides minus 2, and then times by 180 will be that angle sum. Angle sum of any shape. You can do it with a triangle. You can also do it with anything with four sides as well. You'll see that you get the same thing. Be careful of some trick questions, especially in this paper, which we heard a lot of. Just read the question and think about what do you actually need to answer it, because sometimes it might give you too much information and maybe you don't need all of it, right? So you need to make sure you read it and think about what you really need to answer it. Okay, that's all. Thank you.